Hey, hi everybody.
Hey.
What up? Hey, how's it going?
That's your buddy, the Dreamer. And this interview today is on behalf of the Hempfest and on behalf of the Houston music scene and on behalf of Alexis. And let's do it. So,
right.
First off, everybody, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Julio. I'm the trombonist of Dubtrine, and it's nice to meet y'all.
I'm Emilie. I do vocals. I play guitar and bass.
My name is Moises. I play guitar, bass, and also do vocals.
I'm Chino. I'm the MC.
And right behind us over here making a late performance is Horizon. He's our drummer.
Hey guys.
All right. So Dubtrine, tell me all about. Well, first, I was grooving on you guys this morning. I was grooving on your music and cosmic energy. So what is the story behind your song and your video for Cosmic Energy?
Well, Cosmic Energy, I write the song maybe like 2 years ago with I started working with Emilie. That's the beginning of the band. We write that song maybe like 2-3 years ago, right before everybody, joined the group and be part of Dubtrine. Pretty much the song is pretty explicit in what we're talking about. It's about what we feel around us, but we cannot see it. That's the cosmic energy that I feel that we're part of it. We're all there, and it's a message to people to try to embrace it and try to feel it more. That is something like when we say, I can feel you in the morning, I can feel you all around. That's exactly what we're talking about. It's like you wake up in the morning and you feel like that energy that is there. You can feel it, but sometimes people don't embrace it. So we're trying to send a message to people to be more connected with this cosmic energy that we all know is there, but some people don't acknowledge that.
That's brilliant. Because coming from a creative standpoint, to be able to take your art to speak for your mind, for your heart, for your soul, it's a gift and it's both blessing and
yeah, thank you. Definitely, it's been a blessing so far. I mean, we're definitely being blessed to be able to show what we got, send a message and show people that is more than what the eyes can see, something more out there.
It's this is a subject that I could probably talk all day about because I really have a passion for that outer energy that surrounds us.
I'm a firm believer in that sort of listening to the universe. And you bring out to the universe, you get back what you give, basically. And I'm a firm believer of if you're in a good mood and everything else, that sort of energy is taken in. And the purpose of that song particularly is because it's cosmic, because it's all around us, because it's in the air, because it's all it's encompassing. That basically is the focus of the song. And my philosophy is just live as you live. And be good to yourself and be good all around you, and it's gonna come back.
Absolutely, yeah. Just like anything else, you get what you put out, and if you put out, well, I can only speak for myself. But if I pull out a bunch of deceit and hurt and negativity and needless pain to others, sooner or later, it's gonna come right back around, smack me in the
Exactly.
face, you know. So
Goes full circle.
Yep. Energy works both ways. Good energy, bad energy. As long as it's positive, you know, it's gonna come back to you. You know, I mean, it's energy. It's
That's
gonna come to you.
right.
So, yeah. That's what I think I like about the band.
absolutely, absolutely, need more of that. You know, music is so subjective, and music is so connects on such a deep level
Mhm.
in many ways with a lot of people, and sometimes music connects with somebody, and the person it's connecting with might not see it right then.
Mhm.
But yeah, I remember having this talk with somebody, and I said, "Well, you like Green Day? You know, you're an old school rocker. You grew up in the Led Zeppelin era. You grew up in the Pink Floyd era with me. You know exactly where I'm coming from. You were there, you were there with me, and but you're telling me that music's not speaking to you anymore?
Sad.
I'm sorry. What?
Yeah, it's sad.
But what's funny is that I could be talking to the person a week later, and they just start singing their favorite old school Floyd tune. You know, and I'm like, no, see, music is still connecting with
For
you.
sure. Like how we started in the beginning. Hey, Dougie, how you doing?
I'm sorry, y'all.
All good, all good. Oh my goodness. Well, like how this band started, I was one of the latecomers coming in. It was just first it was just Emilie and Moises, and we had another band member, which unfortunately he's not with us now. They started together as Dubtrine together, and then when that unfortunate passing happened, there was a lot of reflection on what was going to happen, how the band was going to move forward. Me personally, when I got into it, I was sort of in a bit of a hiatus. I didn't play for a very long time, actually, and you know, COVID happened, and they were doing their thing, and Moises kept asking me. He asked me for months and months and months. You know, Julio, I want you to join this band. You know, I was very hesitant because I wasn't really confident because I hadn't played in so long. And finally, last year, in fact, a couple days ago, it was the year anniversary when I bought my trombone. And from there, it's just been, just we've been practicing, getting our music better, getting to know our sounds better, and improving on the stuff that, Moises and Emilie had already written. And then, of course, adding Horizon with the drumming, and then Chino with the lyrics. It all just came together within a matter of months. And we got this, these different backgrounds of music, Chino with his lyricism, and Emilie with her all-around, musical quality, and our composer right here, and me, my trombone. We just have a completely different, areas of music that we have, and we all came together, to form this band. And in relatively the little amount of time that we've been together, I'm just amazed by our progress, our music, our time. It's great. It's a great time right now.
It really is. It really is.
Talking a little bit about Hempfest too. I mean, that's a little bit also what it kind of connect us a little bit. We're a real deal about it. I mean, going back to the subject, where we're going to be playing this this festival is, I would say, like a big part of what we are as a band is because we're we enjoy ourselves, having a good time with some edibles, a little bit of flour here and there. So it's also part of it. Kind of help you. I always say that marijuana or hemp, whatever you want to call it, CBD, it definitely open doors or gates or senses that sometimes we're not really aware of, and it kind of just help in the creative part as a band, in how we manage ourselves socially. Having a band together is also a lot of different personalities, and sometimes that's what a lot of bands doesn't really connect. But we had the ability to, how to handle ourselves and how to manage to, stay creative, stay positive, and just keep writing and playing new music day by day.
That's a real good segue into what I'm thinking right now. Hempfest is, I think it's gonna be really, really fun. And I mean, obviously California, I can't, be there. And I'd like to be there. I'd like to, start
It's only like a 3-hour flight.
I'd like to start coming out to Houston, Texas. I'd like to start hanging out.
It's like a day on the bus.
Yeah.
They got Wi-Fi on the bus now too.
You can walk from the bus.
Yeah, get a lot of time done.
We'll send you an Uber from the Greyhound.
Now, I've always been one to say that if you can find a way to connect with that inner voice, that inner spirit, that inner guide, that inner, inspiration that's inside every single each of one of us. That's half the battle right there.
Yeah, I overcame personally like a lot of fear in the beginning. I wasn't too confident in my own ability because I had not played in a very long time. That was one of the things where Moises was trying to like really get me to believe in myself and to listen to that inner child, you know what I'm saying? And really, focus on that. And that has actually been a huge development in my own, getting back to where I was. I mean, I was pretty good, but when I played back in the day, and then, things happen, life happens. And then 16 years, 16 years. And he taught me to really believe in myself and drive myself. And I think that has been a huge positive for this band as a whole. The ability to listen within ourselves, like Emilie. I love Emilie. She is the best singer in the world, but she's meek sometimes, what I'm saying? But she's fierce. Don't get me wrong. She's a fierce one. Don't get it twisted. But she taught me also, this talent behind me. That's another one. You listen to your inner child. And listen, she has belted it out some songs, and we're gonna get to that later on. But I mean, just all of us, all of our abilities. Chino's, writing ability, and I've seen him before. He was kind of writing stuff, and all of a sudden he's just like, "Holy, I got this idea!" And he's listening to his inner child, and with of course with Horizon, his development as a drummer, I think has been the biggest jump of our success so far. Is that he came from a completely different background, what I'm saying, and switched over from DJ to drumming, listening to his inner child. You know what I mean? So it's super cool.
Yeah,
that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal to be able to connect again, to be able to find that inspiration, and be able to dial into be able to recognize it.
Yeah. Also, our first single, that's what it talks about. Our first single is actually out in all the platforms: Spotify, YouTube, Pandora,
Apple Music,
Amazon Music. You can look it up. It's "Take Me Away," and that song also talks a little bit about that. It's to take you away from your daily routine, take you away from that monotony that sometimes we have in our life, and we're not able to connect with the things that are, like we said before, they're out there, but we're not able to see them. So Emilie can talk to you a little bit more about it. Actually, she wrote the song.
That's all her.
Yes, I did write that song. I actually wrote it about 6 years ago. And it's transformed into what it is today over time, which I believe we're all really happy with. But yeah, it's about getting away from the routine that we all get stuck in. You know, take me away to that special place that I love, called love, whatever it is that you love.
Yeah.
It could be music. Dance is another passion of mine. That's a love of mine. Whatever it may be. Writing, anything. Yeah, that's what it's about. Going to your happy place. Food, that's for sure.
That's for sure. We love this. A lot of loves we have, you know.
We like to eat good around here.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
We're in Houston,
I was talking about talent.
One thing we have in Houston is the food, man. You
Yeah.
can
We'll take you out somewhere.
Oh yeah. We know all the good spots.
Yep.
Yeah, so go come listen to us seriously on Spotify. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Music. We're on YouTube. Check us out on Instagram at Dubtrine. We're everywhere. We're spreading out as much as we can.
That's awesome. And speaking of that, talking about spreading yourself out with the Hempfest, I had seen some of the names that are on this bill with you guys, and I've actually had Post Profit on my show.
Nice.
They're awesome.
I love them. They're great.
They are really good.
Super cool people. Yeah, for sure.
And I am getting Robert Creech today.
Oh, nice.
1:30, and then after that, I'm also talking to Simblan at 3 o'clock. So
Excellent.
I'm looking forward. I really want to talk about Hempfest for a minute, if we can.
Yeah,
Sure,
absolutely.
of course, absolutely.
What is the vision that Dubtrine has to perform at Hempfest and be able to take that momentum, and what's the next step up that Dubtrine would like to achieve?
Well, first of all, the logistics to here in Texas are really not beneficial for the production or the consume of hemp. So what we try to do is to support the cause. There's a lot of changes happening right now. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, last month, they were changing a little bit of the laws that we have here in Texas at the moment. And one of them that they're trying to change is that we're going to be able to actually sell it but not produce it, which is kind of bad for, especially in Texas, we have a lot of space. I mean, we're a big state. I mean, if we thought about space, that's one thing that we have extra. Like, I mean, we have a lot of land to work. And with that being said, it's a lot of work opportunities that could be created in the future. And also the industry, I mean, it's been beneficial for a lot of states right now. I mean, bringing millions of dollars in revenue and they're using that money for different infrastructure, educations. I mean, because health programs. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I mean, you're in California, you know better than we do over here. I mean, how beneficial it is for everybody in the long run. So that's one vision that we have about playing Hempfest. I mean, like I said before, it definitely has been part of our creativity part, and we support the cause not just for what it is, also for the health benefits that it comes to, work opportunities, and we also I think I speak about myself, but I think I speak for most of the band. I mean, we're true believers that is a lot of changes that need to be changed on the way the law is being written. And hopefully we can take this to a federal level, but we're definitely true supporters of the hemp movement. And
sure.
Here in Houston, we actually do have a couple of big organizations working really hard to make a change. So we're trying to put our 2 cents in and see what we can do about it.
Yeah, exactly. Just doing it musically. That's the best that we can do to do our contribution to generalize the use of cannabis in Texas. To make it normal, to not have it be so much of a stigma. It's just not that way anymore. And if we can do our little contribution with music, to try to get people to be a little more comfortable and start, legislatively getting things done. I mean,
get more involved.
Great. Get more involved. Exactly.
People get more involved. So for us playing the show is for us trying to bring people so they can actually see what a lot of groups around the area are working on, and also to let them have a good time.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Gonna bring the party up. Let's get it started. Well, actually, we're closing the night, but we're opening right before Post Profit, so it's definitely right before us is 5:15 playing. So Nola Ray playing with us that night. Pocket Watch Theory. It's a lot of great bands playing with us. So, besides all that, also we're trying to create a music community where we all work together. It's a lot of different genres playing in this festival, which is also great. So it brings opportunity for the people to actually see the local talent that is in Houston right now, and
it's super fire. The music scene in Houston is awesome. I mean, not just with dub and ska, but like the rock scene and the metal scene. We are a great music city, and I think this projects like Houston Hempfest is so good to get that talent out there and to show people, hey, we got it too, and we're worth a listen.
Well, yeah, I think Houston is, on the subject of the Houston music scene, the Texas music scene in general, I think it's especially today, it's gotten or actually exceeded the level of impact than the Sunset Strip in Hollywood in the 80s. I think that it's already exceeded. It's always been big. It's always been wide, but now it's just so much bigger. It's so much wider.
It definitely is.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So we're being blessed to be part of it, and show everybody, like, especially with our kind of music. I mean, Hempfest, comes with a ska, reggae scene, comes hand by hand kind of thing, So we also have that that impact with our music that we're able to support this kind of movements.
So, does Dubtrine have some kind of a marketing idea in mind without the verge of falling off that cliff of corporate liabilities?
Well, we definitely do have a marketplace right now. Like I said, we only put our first single out. We're still working on an album. most likely it's gonna be ready by the end of the next month.
That's cool.
We still don't have a date, to be honest with you, but I mean, we're still putting the tracks down and putting the final touches here and there.
That's good.
But definitely our market. I mean, I'm talking already to people to go and play in South America and Europe next year. So I mean, our market is going all over the place. We really don't have a market. Houston is just the beginning because we live here. But
Correct.
I mean, we're already playing Galveston, Iceland. Actually, the next day, right after Hempfest. Next month, we're going to be playing in Austin. Well, actually, Benton, Texas, which is right on the outside of skirts of Austin. And then we already are talking about to go and play California, hopefully in October. But still working on it. It's a working process.
It's awesome. The experience, because of it's almost like at such a fast pace that we're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that this Houston Hempfest was you mentioned Alex Lozano earlier. He was the coordinator of this of the last music festival that he had around Memorial Day. And that was literally our first time that we had performed together as a band. And the reaction that we had was just so huge. And it was just like a whirlwind, We had so much recognition for what we had played. We had like a 8-song set. People loved us. People were asking us who we were. And it just kind of came so fast. So, to have the music going on, the marketing going on, everything else is going on. It's just at a blitzkrieg pace. And we're just kind of like trying to organize everything, but we're still practicing. We're laying down our tracks for an album. Our single came out. The single came out was awesome. I mean, everything's coming so fast, but it's a good energy, like we mentioned before.
So what is the original when various different reincarnations of the band were put together? What was the inspiration behind that? Say, okay, we have all these different influences. We have all these different instruments. Everybody in the band is multi-talented. What was the key thing that brought the band into the reggae ska field?
I think that would be more from my background. I play with different kind of reggae bands here in Houston or around the world. So that would be more my influence. But definitely with the combination of Emilie being able to hold it down on the bass so good and be able to sing at the same time.
Yeah.
It was just like that was already a catch right there. It's like be able to have somebody to sing that great, play bass as well at the same time. And then Julio came in with the horns. Chino brought the more like a hip hop kind of feeling, being like the MC for the band, which also kind of blends really well now in this, kind of like what Kimani Marley or Damian Marley does with reggae. It's kind of like a combination of hip hop and reggae. And then Horizon he's a DJ, so he kind of plays everything. He's into rock, classic rock, punk. So that also opened the doors to do a lot of things, Playing reggae is not easy now. A lot of people would say it's an easy bit now. A lot of drummers don't like to play reggae because it's an offbeat. So Horizon was able to just hold it down really well, just play classic rock and play reggae at the same time. It seems for him like just a piece of cake because he is able to mix it and blend it in pretty well. So everything just came together, naturally.
Yeah, naturally.
Organically.
That's how you know it's right.
Yes, sir.
That's
Absolutely.
how you know. That's how you know. That's exactly how you know. I went to a town. I ventured out to a town called Rancho Santa Margarita.
Rancho Santa Margarita.
In Orange County, in here in California, and it's pretty quiet, quiet town. If you don't know anybody, It's like, I don't know, people might just like stick to themselves and not really, connect or whatever. But there was this bar that was off on the side of the highway, in this obscure location up on the, like the, right when you go up a hill. So the property went straight like that, but the earth dropped. It was crazy. And there was this band that was playing that pretty much reggae ska, and they had lava lamps up on the stage. They had a fog machine.
Nice.
I smelled some incense. I was all,
Nice.
I was all caught up in the spirit, and they had. I'm sitting back, and first I'm sitting back, at a bench, and just have a few drinks, whatever, and just kind of kicking it, just checking out my surroundings and checking everything and everybody out. And then a couple of the people in my party went up towards the front of the stage and then motioned me, come here. And I'm like, okay. So, cool, man. So
Nice.
like,
Nice.
All right. So I go up to the front of the stage, and then all of a sudden I'm like lava lamp, smoke machine, incense, candles up on the stage, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
cool, man.
Cool.
It sounds like a real hippie vibe over
Oh,
there.
super. Yeah. All
Yeah.
that incense all over. Yeah.
I'm just surrounded, everybody around me dancing, and I'm just, all right, man.
That's
I'm
super
just
cool.
smiling in here, grooving, man. Just cool.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's what we knew that we were doing it right, because since the first time we played our first show, people were dancing from the first song to the last one, like nonstop.
What you want? It's awesome.
So yeah, it's hoping to bring those good vibes to the Hempfest, and can wait to share the stage with all these great bands as well.
Yeah, the talent on this lineup is just absolutely incredible. The Saturday lineup is awesome. We're gonna definitely support in spirit for the Sunday lineup as well, because we're gonna have that other project the next day. But for sure, just a great group of people. And shout out to Alex Lozano for this great opportunity for us to play and for us to be headlining or playing before Post Profit. I'm just super stoked, for sure.
Yeah, also High Voltage Magazine. I know they help a lot with this event together.
Yeah.
And thank you for being
thank you to the Dreamer, for sure. Yeah,
to promotion for this event.
Really awesome.
It's my pleasure. Now, let me tell you, and thank you as well. I can tell you, being a one-man production, trying to figure out how I'm gonna up my game, and step up my production, how I'm going to introduce myself to somebody to say, hey, check it out. Would you like to be a guest on my show? Do I need to make some new graphics? Because it's all one of these days, I'll have some help and I'll be able to really focus on doing this and be able. I believe that it's only a matter of time, as it is for you guys, for the band.
Thank you.
It's only a matter of time before something happens. Because
plug it in. Yep.
Things can't continue.
No, you just gotta keep the grinding and keep working on it.
Keep working on it.
And
pushing forward.
Always evolving.
Mm-hmm. You keep plugging the work. If you want good results, you got to put in the work in. You know, and that's with anything that you do. If you love it, you know, it's not really work. You just gotta, you know, you do what you do. You do what you love.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
Yep.
So what would you say if say somebody gets a phone call, okay, and I don't know, maybe somebody wants to put on a reggae fest in Jamaica. Does the band think and believe that could happen for them?
Oh yeah, like I said earlier in the conversation, we're already talking with people in South America and Europe to see how we're gonna be able to move around in the near future. Because, like I say, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Waiting to put the album out. That would be the first step, and then let's get what it goes from there. But we're definitely on the talks. I mean, I play different countries, and we're definitely talking with different people here what we can do. How we can all put it together and work together.
So, how do you think that? Well, how does the band feel that Hempfest is going to compare to the Homegrown Festival?
Well, I think we're featuring more bands than the last show, even though it's 2 days. And a lot of that talent is coming. That was really good from then on to here. So that energy is going to be there, you know. It's a closed venue, so you're going to have a more intimate sort of feel to the show, which also helps in terms of the energy of the music, you know. Super stoked about it. I just think that, you know, with the opportunity, you know, comes more opportunities. You know, this is going to happen. People are going to listen to us, and we're going to start spreading our word everywhere because we're listening to these bands. Those bands are going to look at us. We're going to look at them. We're going to share their word. It's just the word of mouth thing, you know. And with the talent that we have, it's sky's the limit, you know.
No doubt. See, that's another thing, is that the sky is the limit. And I believe fully that the sky is the limit for both of us. And I truly believe that, you know, there's an old saying that I was told a long time ago. If I don't believe in what I'm doing with my heart, mind, body, and soul 150%, how is anybody else going to believe it? You know?
Correct. Absolutely.
How is anybody else going to believe it? You know? So
you put out what you put in.
Yeah.
You just got to keep dreaming.
Mm-hmm. Keep dreaming. Yeah.
Oh, I do. Trust me. I wake up at 3:00 in the morning sometimes, and I'm like, the hairs are standing up on my arms, and I'm like, going, that's what I gotta do, you know.
Exactly. You can feel it.
That's what I gotta do.
It's the cosmic energy, bro.
That's right.
It is. It is. And see the beauty about that. I mean, on the talking about cosmic energy, it once an artist dials in on that, or the creator, the band, the brand, the promoter, the venue dials in on that energy and dials in on that cosmic energy, things just happen.
They do.
Things
Yeah.
come together. Things that come together. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it really is. Just like this, the whole start of this group. That's how we all got together. You know, it feels great that we have that opportunity to play together and to share those vibes and to share that energy and to put that talent out there and to work together. You know, we're a band, we're a family. You know, we're locked down. You know, and we are grateful. That's gratitude is the biggest thing, with the energy thing also is gratitude. I'm gracious for my bandmates and their talent, to pick me up when I was feeling down with my own doubts. Everybody has contributed to that, and we all contribute to each other. I think that's the best thing about our band, is that we are, not just a bunch of people that play and sing together. We actually hang out. We actually go out, and we're a unit. We're a pretty strong unit right now, man.
Yes, try to create a good environment so we can channel that energy in the right direction, and that comes with the creativity part of the music, and perform together and everything.
I gotta ask Emilie, what's it like being one of the founding members of the band and knowing that your spirit and your heart makes such a powerful, positive impact?
It's great. I think sometimes I don't think about it like that. But yeah, I mean, it feels really good, and gives me a lot of joy to be part of Dubtrine and to be part of all of this with these guys. It's a lot of fun. We put in a lot of work. It's great. It's a great experience, and I'm grateful to be able to give, my talent and whatever I have to offer and share it with them. It's great. I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Beautiful. Beautifully said, Emilie. Beautifully said. What would you say, what would the band in general say is their favorite piece of gear that they use live and in the studio?
That's a hard one.
Like, if it were me, if I were in the studio, I think, because I used to work with radio, and coming back into the studio when we're making our single and our other songs, ready for our album EPs, to be back behind the glass was like, I was so excited, hey, to see all the doodads and, the program that he was using, it was awesome to be back into that environment again. So that was personally for me, my favorite part of the studio experience was actually seeing the editing and stuff that I used to do before. What about you, Moses?
It's a hard one. I have so many toys that it's like, oh man. You walk around my house and it's like full of equipment. So
he's got amps,
to pick up one, I don't even know which one is my favorite guitar now.
Oh, the one that you got.
I do have a new guitar that
the most recent one.
Yeah, I do have a GNL. This was after Leo Fender sold Fender. He created his own company.
Yeah.
And I bought one guitar I like that guitar a lot lately.
Nice. How about Emilie, your bass? You got a new bass too.
I did get a new bass.
Yeah, it's so sick.
She's almost bigger than me. I love it.
What is it, a Tobias?
What is it? What kind of band is it? What kind of bass is it?
What kind of bass is it?
It's a Yamaha 5-string.
Okay, a Billy Sheehan bass. Yeah, nice.
Chino, what's your favorite?
Well, I guess being behind the mic in the studio, I could hear myself a lot better. I don't like myself here. Delete. Okay, I like that one. Keep that.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard just to pick one thing. But I will say for myself, definitely I'm always singing and playing an instrument. I never get to just sing, so being able to just sing for a little while behind the glass was nice.
Yes.
Well, so Emilie, do you pretty much just plug straight in to the bass amp you're using, or do you have like a compressor, an EQ, maybe a little plate or a little room reverb?
Yeah, I have a little preamp for the bass, so I connect to that and then connect the amp to the other amp.
So how long did it take? And I'll tell you when I'm done what I asked, as I've got a few things sitting around here, and I was just wondering, because I hear a lot of overtones in your bass tone, and I hear like a lot of like sonic tones. My mind pretty much can pick up on the sonic overtones, and even like the EQ frequencies, and that when I was watching and I was listening to Cosmic Energy, I was just like, man, I was wondering if you were using a compressor.
Do you recall these notes?
We don't use compression on Cosmic Energy.
No, but you're definitely using you use a little bit of drive, but on the low end of the drive, so it gives like a more like a dub effect.
Yeah.
So it does have a drive, but you put the middles down, so it kind of creates like that, like hollow effect, like it was like a double bass kind of sound. That's probably what you're picking on. And then we also use I use a lot of effects on my guitar, so I don't know, we're picking up probably on a little bit of that. Plus, we're using an oscillator on the side. We're using a key oscillator. I'm sorry, that's what it's called.
So what would you say is probably the most important effect to be a tool to translate your creativity and to translate the music that's in your head, that's coming through your fingers? What would you say is your best used effect to be able to produce the music that's coming from your head and your heart to your fingers?
So the name of our band is Dubtrine, so it's pretty much made from dub music. So in dub music, it's a lot of reverb and a lot of delays being used. So we use that also a little bit of our bass and the sounds for, I would say, 70% of our songs. They're always going to have a little bit of reverb and delay into it. And then we're using different kinds, all the way from tape delays to a little bit something more modern.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's phenomenal. Reggae ska. That's great. That's great to be. I remember the very first time that I heard Bob Marley and the Wailers. Yeah, the very first time that I heard Bob Marley and the Wailers, that opened my eyes to a lot of to the whole cosmic energy, spiritual side of music. I mean, I being a guy who grew up on old school Jimmy Page and the violin bowl. I have a theremin.
Nice.
Both, theremin and
I love the sound of theremin. So creepy.
I don't have a violin bowl. I kind of trashed it.
Okay.
I do have an e-bow.
Nice.
Very
cool.
This is a lot of fun.
I can imagine, yeah.
I have a good time with that. But, and then I saw a few years later, I discovered Jamaican music and Pan music. And then shortly after that, I heard, where was I? I was at somebody's house.
Yeah.
Hanging out. But I discovered Bob Marley and the Wailers, and then several years after that, of course, I discovered Fishbone, and I discovered No Doubt.
Yeah.
The second wave of ska.
Yeah.
And I discovered the band that I actually just stumbled across, not even without any intention of finding any live music. It was a total the stars collided, and all of a sudden there I was, But, I magically appeared, and I'm just like,
California, I'll tell you, in the late 80s, early 90s, just started blowing up with so many awesome bands. And then once the mid 90s came through, you had bands like, No Doubt, Real Big Fish, Rancid, Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, all those awesome bands that came out, from California all the way over to Boston. I was myself a Boss Tones fan growing up, seeing them in my school back in '98. And I'm kind of dating myself here, but back in college, seeing them live, that was super cool. And I've seen them a few times since then. I love the Boss Tones, so I have a lot of influence. California also, obviously, Sublime as well. That was a huge influence in my music. But I've noticed especially with the trombone, a lot of trombones coming out now. So I've been referring myself to old school. I'm talking first wave stuff, people like Scatolites, people Toots and the Maytals, people just those old Don Drummond, just all those old school ska bands, has been a big influence on the jazz influence side of ska before it actually came to reggae, So it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. It helped us a lot to give the final touch to our music with Julio, bringing in those jazz ska influence. Definitely give a lot of room to creativity and open it up, and not just to be one kind of music.
Mm-hmm.
We actually we play ska and reggae, but we also play all the way from funk to rock.
Punk. Straight punk.
We have we have 2 songs that are straight up punk. So we play a lot of different stuff. But definitely always based on the ska reggae kind of influence. We had for example, one song we play 3 different genres in one song.
I love that song. It's such a free.
Yeah. So it definitely gives a lot. It gives us a lot of room to don't be just focusing one type of music. We can actually work in a lot of different types. It's even we have a couple of songs that are more classic rock, a little bit more melodic. So I think actually that probably is gonna be our second single. I think I sent it to you through email. It's called Changing Colors. It's something a little bit more on the melodic side.
More sultry.
A little bit more soul, I would say. Kind of like a old school ballad rock with some jazz influence. Kind of hard to tell. You have to listen to it. You had it in your email. So it's called Changing Colors, and that's gonna be our second single.
I'd love to hear it. That's cool, man.
Hope you enjoy it.
Hope you enjoy it. That one is not out there yet. I want to send it to you, especially for your own enjoyment.
Yeah, I have a verse on that one, but I'm not in that version that you got emailed. So next time you'll hear it, I'll be on that one.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
cool, man. So I gotta ask you. Chinoski.
Hey,
Say that right? Chino.
You can just call me Chino, man. I really didn't know where this was. Where you spell my name like that? I just
cool, man. Right on. And Chino, so what do you do? Do you come out and then you introduce the band?
Yeah. So sort of. I do all the talking for us while they're doing all their stuff, tuning, You know what I mean? Changing equipment, since like she plays guitar sometimes and she plays bass sometimes. Moises is the same thing. They switch in and out. I gotta, do some crowd work here and there, and try to keep folks entertained and not walk off to go get a beer or go to the restroom or some shit like that. So I gotta keep them. I gotta keep them hooked. And besides that.
Oh man, Chino's definitely the whimsical, light, awesome side of us. You know what I'm saying? He has an element of like, he has his crowd presence is really awesome. When he gets on stage, you know what I'm saying? People are drawn to him. He's his hair, you know what I'm saying, is the way that he moves. You know what I'm saying? His fashion sense. He's got good lyricism. You know what I mean? He's not the backstage boy. No, he's definitely a main guy. You know what I'm saying? It's awesome, for sure.
So I do like, I guess you would call the rapping or like the hip hop element. I'm an MC. I don't really call myself a rapper, but I do a little bit of vocals in there.
Yeah, he backs us up.
He's awesome. When he doesn't have the lyrical side, he's got the, he's doing like a little percussion in the back there. He's always involved.
Well, you never know. You never know exactly what balance is going to work. But when you find it, that's why that's it.
Yeah. That's why it's so awesome that because we do come from such different backgrounds and different ideologies and philosophies, but it works. We work. We fit. It's great. It's a great feeling to have, for sure.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. It's really good to know. It's good to hear.
We'll come from different places. Emilie's from Houston. Chino's half Puerto Rican, half Salvadorian.
Salvadorian from California, like you say, from Bakersfield.
California. Julio's
I'm Puerto Rican. I'm come from Connecticut. Came down from Houston, and got the El Salvadorian over here. Worldwide traveler.
But I live all over the place.
Horizon. Oh.
And Horizon, he's from Nepal. Yeah,
playing for the Himalayas.
That's right.
The Himalayas with the
Player of the Himalayas.
That's right.
Playing for the Himalayas.
Hey, it's all good, man. You and the Yeti, man. That's cool. I like that. I'm a Loch Ness freak myself, but man, that's cool, man. The Yeti, I believe in the Yeti, man. I believe that there's something bigger than everything that the human eye could see and the human mind can understand. Yeah, I get it.
And I think music definitely helps to open that third eye and see things different sometimes. I mean, it's like when you say you close your eyes and you're trying to feel that music and identify the sounds.
Yeah.
Sometimes you find something more than just the sound. Sometimes you find yourself in a different state of mind.
That is perfect. That is perfect. You know what? I couldn't have said that better. No way. That's good. That's good because it's true. It's very true. When you're on that journey and when your mind and your spirit, your heart, your body is connected with, consumed and surrounded by everything that you're grooving on, doors do open up.
Mm-hmm. For sure. We definitely had that, in the short amount of time that we've, been doing, playing in front of bands and stuff. It's awesome. It's a whirlwind. It's great. It's taking that in stride and catching and just using it. We're not wasting any energy here. We're not wasting any time. We've got something good. Dubtrine is awesome, and I think that people are going to know that really, really soon from us, for sure.
Hopefully, we'll see you in California pretty soon.
Man. That'd be great. In October, that'd be really cool.
I love the hang, man. I love the hang to chill. And, at 5, man. That'd be cool. That'd definitely be good. Good for me.
Awesome.
Good on me. Good with me. That's cool, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
thank you.
So I want to ask kind of on the spiritual tip, on the spiritual conversation. Has anybody had the experience of listening to music and kind of finding your that inner sanctuary, finding that inner connection, that inner voice, that inner being, that inner spirit, and then kind of crack your eyes open and kind of see a silhouette of doors opening up, like literally looking at a blank wall, you're grooving, you're in the spirit, and then you see a silhouette of doors opening up, like to a hallway or something like that. Has anybody ever had that experience?
I have not. I would like to.
It sounds like
It makes
yes,
it
I have.
Depends on what state of mind are we talking about.
Yeah.
Maybe with some little help.
Sounds like DMT. Yes, I have.
Maybe with some little help.
That shit rocks.
Maybe with some little funky help. You know what I mean?
I've been.
Oh, that's funny.
Whoa.
I've been staring into this too long.
There you go.
That's what it is.
Oh, that's funny.
Say that's some over.
For me. Chino, what are you doing? Chino, what are you doing? This will not make the cut, obviously.
I mean, I guess not. I don't.
Bro, we're not putting this in the interview. You can't move. You got to stay inside.
Yeah. You can't see me no more. The dog had to go, bro. I'm sorry.
I feel you. That's all. That was cute. That was good. I'm sorry. Anyway.
But
Far so good.
yeah, that just goes to show you the power, man.
Yeah.
The power.
I've never experienced that, but I will say that I do have times when I'm playing, especially when I'm playing the bass, where I kind of zone out and I go in. I can still hear the music around me, but I'm like in my own zone and I don't even see what's going on. I'm just hearing the music and I'm zoned out.
Do you know what Emilie does? I'll tell you what Emilie does. When she starts playing her bass, she you mentioned earlier that she dances. She actually dances with her bass.
That's
legit.
Cool.
She's actually, you should use the way that she moves. And Emilie, she's a little itty bitty thing when she's got that big old bass and she's just it's just unbelievable that zone that she gets into, for real.
Cool.
Cool. Personally, for me, like a lot of it has been like dormant stuff that, remember, I used to play a long time ago and then I stopped for a while. So, when you become out of practice, you kind of, it's there, but you got to like keep digging at it, and I've noticed lately that my skills are coming back and my solo stuff's coming back. All the stuff that I used to do when I was in jazz and playing in a Latin band back in the 90s and early 2000s, it's just that zone. When I start feeling like my soloing, I've been told that like when I solo, that I sound like a saxophone. And I'm like, no, that's a trombone. That's a trombone. I'm like, and it gives me that like I can feel like I'm just kind of zoned out, and it's reflective of the music,
That's beautiful. That's the power of music. It's come up many times, and that's because it's such a dominating factor.
Yeah.
If I could turn the monitor around so you could see what I have hanging over here over there to my left. Well, looking at the camera to my right, but it's really to my left.
Mhm.
I got a portrait of James Marshall Hendrix, right?
Very nice.
He, to me, when I first started playing guitar, it was these three that got me started. Well, actually four. Les Paul, actually five. Les Paul and his wife, Mary Ford. This was the start of my journey when I was a kid. And then I progressed from Les Paul and Mary Ford to Jimmy Page. And then when I
Not Jimmy Page.
got all that in, and when I dialed into all that, I went from Jimmy Page to Jimi Hendrix. And there's the reason. It took me a long time to learn, to discover and accept and embrace what all these great legends are trying to say in their music. You know, it's over here behind the webcam. I've got a self-portrait of Sir Mick Jagger, who's got another influence, another side in my influences, just because of the early Rolling Stone years and around Sympathy for the Devil time. And like, you mix all this stuff up together, that's what happened to me, you know. That's all part of my trip, all part of what makes a dreamer, you know. But
Nice.
Awesome.
wanted to ask you. That's why I wanted to ask the band. That's why I always ask my guests about their influences.
Yeah, mine comes from everything. I started listening to, when I was a little kid, I listened to Metallica, Nirvana, you know. I was really into like classic rock, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd. My dad would listen a lot of the Beatles. I would listen a lot of the Beatles. Bob Marley came maybe when I was early in my middle school years. And then from that, I started playing for a punk band when I was like around 14, 15.
Mm.
And then from that, I moved from punk to psychedelic rock. And then I started playing a little bit more into reggae when I started getting into psychedelic rock, because I found the connection between the rock and the reggae, the dub. And I started playing more like reggae, more ska. And from that on, I just started playing a lot of stuff. I mean, I traveled to South America. I learned how to play a lot of bossa nova, Latin music, all the way from trova to, like I say, I mean, jazz, blues, bossa nova, ska, reggae, Latin.
Mm.
And then I started playing different instruments. My main instrument was always guitar, but then I started playing how to play bass, how to play piano, how to get more into the production part of the music too. So I like all kind of music, to be honest with you. I like even EDM. I mean, that's when me and Horizon met. You know, he was a DJ, and we started hanging out after he started. I think I met him in a club or something like that. I think that's how we started hanging out. You know, so to be honest with you, my music influence comes from everything. I think the only thing that I don't want to say I don't like it, but some of them is not too appealing for my ears, is country music. But it's just some of them. It's just a little too.
And that's where I come in.
And that's where she comes in.
That's exactly what I was going to go to, Emily. You have a magnificent spirit surrounding you. You have a magnificent, just like this how do I say this without sounding?
Aura.
Yeah.
Just say it.
Aura.
Yeah, right.
You know, just that complete. You have this mighty, like wild jungle cat spirit that behind you. It's watching over you, hovering over you.
Thank you.
I see like a silhouette of like this mighty power that's just guiding you and protecting you and embracing you and pushing your spirit forward with this power of ferocity. That's pretty much what I see talking to you. And I gotta ask you, with that being said, Emilie, who would you say are your musical influences?
I do have a lot. As a child, I grew up here in Houston, third generation. So we have a lot of backyard barbecues, family gets together, and we listen to a lot of Tejano music and cumbia music, but also a lot of Motown, like Al Green, Aaron Neville, the Supremes, Diana Ross, Marvin Gaye, Smokey Robinson, all that, and a lot of country. Hank Williams, Patsy Cline. I grew up listening to that as a little girl. My grandmother used to listen to Patsy Cline a lot. I still listen to it this day, till this day. Loretta Lynn, Elvis Presley. The list goes on. And as I got older, I started kind of digging on my own and finding what I like a lot of classical music, because like I mentioned earlier, I'm a dancer. I dance, I teach dance professionally. So I like classical music, all genres really, classic rock. I listened to a lot of that growing up as well. So I've listened to a lot of varieties of music, and like I said, as I was getting older, I started listening to a lot more salsa and different styles that I didn't listen to growing up as a child. So I have a very wide range of music that I love to listen to, from country to classical to rock, even heavy metal. Yeah.
Who are your favorite metal bands, Emilie?
Well, I love Cradle of Filth. That's getting really heavy. Cradle of Filth. I also love Metallica. Getting a little not so heavy, but I love Aerosmith. They're one of my favorites. I listened to them a lot growing up.
Oh yeah.
But Cradle of Filth is definitely one of my favorite bands on the heavier side. You all right over there?
I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm good.
There's a band that I would like to turn you guys on to. The band is called Monoinc, Monoinc, and they're out of Germany, and they have a great production, and that it just speaks volumes of who each individual musician is. It speaks volumes of what they're saying in their music and their production and their show. And if you want to trip out on something that's kind of a little dark, but it's also the dark meets the light. That's the only way I can really describe it. Monoinc.
I'll definitely check them out.
I'm very impressed with them. As a matter of fact, I was doing interviews for a record label called El Porto Records for a while, and I met a lot of bands from Germany, Sweden, Norway, Austria, and England, the UK, United Kingdom, and I was this close to having Mono Ink on my show. And I was just like, I came to it didn't happen. I came to realize it just wasn't. There's a few things that I need to do in my own journey to be able to communicate and vibe with artists of this stature. There's still a few things in my journey that I still need to do still. And I'm okay with that because I'm enjoying the trip. I'm enjoying this whole journey from this point on is an adventure. And maybe not so much as a traveling adventure, but it's an adventure in mind. It's an adventure in your spirit. And just you pick up all sorts of tidbits of wisdom along the way.
Yeah,
for sure. Absolutely.
And I gotta tell you, I heard that with you guys. And I before I end this, I just want to ask, does the band have anybody that they'd like to give a shout out for?
For sure. We definitely want to give a big shout out to Alex Lozano, for making this Hempfest possible for us, to getting us on our way to get out there, for sure. And just our producer who made our music. I gotta keep his name a secret. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just the way we do. But whenever he watches this, I have to give him a huge shout out. You know what I'm saying? He was absolutely rock solid.
His name is Jacob.
His name is Jacob. That's all we'll say. His name is Jacob.
Also to High Voltage Magazine, another part of the building, one of the promoters, and also to you.
Yes,
the dreamer.
The dreamer. Thank you so much for
having
the
us.
opportunity to talk to you and give us some time. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'd like to thank you all. Thank you, everyone. It's very kind. Thank you. And I would like to just give a big shout out to Hempfest, to you guys for giving me your precious time and talking to me. Thank you. And also like to give a big shout out to Jay Remy and to Alexis and United Music Alliance. I also would like to give a big shout out to the Rage Breed magazine, in which, for lack of better terms, I'm the media sales manager for the United States.
Nice.
Chapter, the United States, the U.S. version of Rage Breed magazine.
Okay.
Which will lead me to something else to discuss maybe after recording, and most of all, to the Pure Music Factory. My promotional partner, John Giles, in England, in the UK. If you don't know who the Pure Music Factory is, look him up on YouTube. He's a world-renowned video editor.
Oh, nice.
That has a very strong clientele all over the world. Top shelf names. Well, he just so happens to be. I'm so blessed. And I'm so grateful for this relationship. He happens to be a good friend of mine. So that is something else that I'm gonna mention. I'm gonna mention to you guys when we're done. But this interview has been for Hempfest, for Alexis, for Jay Remy, for Surrender Stella, for the United Music Alliance. This has been Dubtrine talking to the Dreamer. You've been hanging with the Dreamer. You've been hanging with Dubtrine. All links will be down in the description box of this video. Support local music.
Yes.
It is very important. Speaking of that, lastly, where can everybody go to find your merch? And where can everybody go to get tickets for Hempfest? And where can everybody go to check out the music of Dubtrine?
Well, you can definitely get our single on Spotify right now. The song is called "Take Me Away" by Dubtrine. We have good following so far. If you just keep adding to those numbers and follow us, we'll keep putting our music there. We're also available on Apple Music, same name. YouTube, we have a link as well on YouTube. We have a website on Facebook. Just look us up, Dubtrine, Dubtrine. We also have on Instagram at Dubtrine. Okay, so that's the best way you can get us hold of us so far. Merch is going to be every local show that we're going to have. So we'll have our merch available
all through Facebook.
All through Facebook.
Awesome, guys. I thank you. I thank everybody again for joining me today. There's a couple things that I do need to share with everybody after we're done here.
All right.
If I may, please. And thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you all.
To hang with the Dreamer. Thank you very much.
Hanging with the Dreamer.
Thank you, everybody.